Hey everyone, it's Tina Lovell with Scrapbooking with Tina, and today I have another video with the creative design team showing you how to create your own stencils in your artwork. I have chosen to use the Everyday Moments Cricut collection from Close to My Heart, which is brand new. And what I've done is I've cut those stencils directly out of cardstock. I would normally use our stencil paper, but I was out, and so cardstock will work. And what I'm going to do today is use our spray pens filled with a little bit of water and some re-inker to create the color on the background of my stencil. So I am using our Raspberry, Bluebird, and Lagoon re-inkers, and it will make a wonderful background. So to get started, I do need to use my Tombow two-way glue pen to add some adhesive to the back of the stencil. The reason I'm using this particular glue is that when it dries, it is sticky like a Post-it note and therefore removable. So you can stick it directly on your cardstock and then paint right over the stencil. So here I am using a piece of paper as a mask to create my background design using the Raspberry, Bluebird, and the Lagoon re-inkers. Okay, so it's quick, easy, spray it on, but the best part is how easy the stencil releases from the cardstock. Because I use that glue, it just pulls right off, and if you let that stencil dry, you can use it at least 2 more times. So you'll also need to let the paper you just designed dry before you can actually work with it. And so I made a few cards. Here's one. I'll show you a few more in just a minute. Here's another stencil I cut out, and I wanted to try a different medium. So for this card, I used the Raspberry shimmer pen, and I simply went over the stencil with that shimmer brush, let it dry, and made a card. I thought it turned out pretty fun. For this card, I am using the watercolor paints and our water brush. Pretty simple, and I did that for a few cards. On the next card, again, I laid the stencil down, pardon me, and was able to use the watercolor paints to create the stripes. And on the third card, I actually took the stencil, which was already colored from making other cards, and glued the stencil itself down for a cool design. So those are just a couple more examples. So let's put our card together. Here's the one I just made. I needed to trim it up a little bit. And here's one I made a couple days ago, and it's dry. And so what I'm going to do is I'm going to add double-sided tape to the back because I really want it to stick down well. Paper and water, you know, when they get together, tend to warp a little bit, which does not give you the best results. So by adding the double-sided tape, I know that when I set my paper down on my card, it will seal nicely. Now, all of the elements that I'm using on this card came directly from the Everyday Life Cricut collection. Again, this was just released on March 1st, so it's a brand new Cricut cartridge, and it creates wonderful scrapbook pages and cards. So for this card, it was actually a 5x7, and I modified it down to fit on a standard 4 1/4 by 6-inch card, and added all of the different elements. I needed an anniversary card, and so I chose to do the words and the heart in the raspberry cardstock to match the color I did in the stencil. It comes together so quick and easy, and now I'm going to add just a couple of gems to it to finish it off. So again, here is all of the cards I showed you today done with stencils, all created using the Cricut cartridge, and they come together so beautifully, so easily, and you can reuse your stencils. Again, this was the exact stencils and images from the Everyday Moments collection. So click on to the next video. We have lots of great videos from our design team to show you.